Hulk Hogan is a wrestling star who has been around for decades. He is known for his signature move, the leg drop, and his larger-than-life personality. He is a regular part of WWF and WCW teams. Hulk Hogan has been a part of some of the biggest tag teams in wrestling history. He was a part of the Mega Powers, the NWO, the Wolfpack, and the WCW/NWO Alliance. Hogan has held numerous championship titles throughout his career. He was the WWF champion 6 times, the undisputed WCW champion twice, the World Heavyweight champion and the Intercontinental champion 3 times. Hogan has captivated the fans with his larger-than-life presence. His entrance and entrance music were always one of the highlights of the shows. His catchphrases, such as "What ya gonna do, brother?" are still remembered by wrestling fans everywhere. Hulk Hogan has been involved in some of the biggest feuds and storylines in wrestling. He was at the center of the Monday Night Wars, feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin and the NWO. Hulk Hogan is a huge part of wrestling history and a beloved wrestler by many. He is an inductee of the WWF Hall of Fame and has been featured on many wrestling cards and products. Hogan was also a part of the Outsiders tag team with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. They were the main villains of the Monday Night Wars, and their feud against Hulk Hogan as the leader of the NWO was one of the most memorable in wrestling history. Hogan's most famous rival was Randy Savage. He had a long-standing feud against Savage that went from the mid-1980s to the late 1990s and included some of the most memorable matches in wrestling history. Hulk Hogan is known for his Hulkamania following, consisting of millions of fans. He was one of the most popular wrestlers of all time, and his name still resonates with the wrestling audience today. Hulk Hogan is a member of the prestigious Four Horsemen stable. He is one of the few wrestlers to be in the Four Horsemen and have a legendary career. Hogan had some great matches with some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He had classic matches with Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hogan is also one of the few wrestlers to have a successful movie and television career outside of wrestling. His classic role in No Holds Barred is still remembered today. Hogan has been involved in some controversial storylines in the past, such as when he was revealed to be the leader of the NWO. Hogan has recently made his return to WWE, making appearances, and being involved with the Authority. He is a beloved wrestling legend and will always be remembered in the annals of wrestling history. Hulk Hogan was a part of the famous Four Horsemen tag team with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Barry Windham. The four of them dominated the competition for months before finally disbanding. The WrestleMania 5 match between Hogan and Savage is one of the most iconic matches in wrestling history. Hogan defeated Savage to win his second WWF World Championship. Hogan teamed up with Mr. T to fight Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper in the main event of the first WrestleMania. It was a huge success and helped put Hogan and the WWF on the map. Hogan had a long and successful career in Japan's New Japan Pro Wrestling. He won the IWGP Tag Team Championship with a Great Muta in 1994.
Brother,
Brian, was also a wrestler and was one of his tag team partners in WCW. The two of them had some successful runs in WCW and formed the Mega Powers tag team. After his run as the leader of the NWO, Hogan went back to the WWF. He held the WWF title twice, and gave a classic performance in a heel turn during his feud against The Rock. Hogan was also involved in a WCW/NWO Alliance feud. Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall formed the New World Order and Hogan was their leader. Hulk Hogan was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. He was the inaugural inductee, and his acceptance speech was one of the highlights of the ceremony. Hogan was the WCW World Champion twice, and was the record holder for the longest WCW champion reign. He was a unifying champion, and led WCW into a golden age. Hogan had a few matches in TNA during his time there. He was a part of the main event at Slammiversary 9, a three-way ladder match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Hogan also had a successful celebrity career, appearing in movies and television shows. He had a reality show called Hogan Knows Best, and he had a few guest appearances on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.